Marc Marcel Productions.
You know what I want to do? I want to exercise the demons.
Thank y'all. Now, for what y'all really need to see, I want y'all to be prepared. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? I want y'all to give it up. For real, give it up. Out of Baltimore, y'all gonna love him. He got CDs in the back. Y'all gonna need to hit him up. I want you to give it up for Mr. Marc Marcel.
Second verse, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? Right, it is so good to be here. I've been traveling since 6:30 this morning to get to this motherfucker, for real. It's good to be here, for real. All right. I can feel the weight on my back every time I sit secluded at my desk trying to find the words that I need to flow right out of my pen. I can feel the boredom I'm carrying every time I read my verse and start spending the next few hours editing. I can feel the boulders on my shoulders every time I walk up to the venue, and every time the host calls my name, and every time I'm just as mic standards fit my 6'4" body frame. I can feel this shit everywhere I go. I can feel the masses of people's souls been added to my heart, much like extra cargo. Much like every time I drop a rhyme, I'm confined to their cries, but I stopped doing this shit for me a long time ago, because you see, that was the case, I just stayed my ass home. I just kept my shit in journals and wouldn't thought of labeling a poem. Now, the last person I know to call myself a poet, but that's only because when I was writing verses, I just didn't want to bring any disrespect to the meaning of the word. And while I've heard some poets get on this mic and say they do this shit for themselves first, well, I heard some poets say they do this shit for the accolades or just to get paid or just because it gets them kicks when they spit and hit a crowd going crazy. I do this shit for cats that don't even write poetry. I do this shit for cats that don't even like poetry. I do this shit for the little boy down the street who his father told him he grew up to amount to shit, and that's what he grew up to believe. I get on this mic for mothers of four working 2 or more odd-hour jobs. I spit my lyrics for the little sister thinking about abandoning her newborn, hoping I might hit her with something that just might change her mind. Because I know the power you can do when someone feels like they can just reach out and touch your rhymes. I know the feeling you get from being lifted up for one single line. I do this shit for all the people politicians make promises with just to get elected, only to leave them deprived. I do this shit for all the little white lies. I do this shit for all the families they packed on slave ships to transport. I do this shit for Arab men trying to get through airports or driving cabs in New York. I do this shit for black men in court. I do this shit for little white boys being molested but they're too scared to tell their parents what their preachers told them about the sins of God's creations. I don't do this shit for stardom or to win slams. I do this shit just so the president knows who the fuck I am. I do this shit for all the rappers who can't rap, and all the MCs that never got a chance, and all the men that never got the chance to lock down the pen, and all the men that institutions got locked down in the pen. I do this shit for all the kids teachers say something's just missing, and for all the juvenile delinquents principals just refuse to take the time to understand. I do this shit for all the fiends that say they want to quit, but they can't. For all the ones that say they have a message, but no one's truly capable of listening past what they just said. I do this shit for all the people that say they want to get on a mic, but it just brings them fright to know they could be exposed and naked to people when up here spitting their lyrics. And I can feel the weight of the world every time I spit a verse or every time I rehearse in the mirror. I can hear them echoing words in my head trying to form poems of broken sentences. And I've never had the pressures being lifted off me when I pick up my pen. So I guess I have no choice. Because even though they can't form the poetry, they still need a voice. Just get this out the way because I'm really bad at promoting. This is my CD. I had DVDs, but I just ran out of it even before I did my set. So all I have now is my greatest hits CD. It's 4 discs. It's 60 poems. I put out 15 CDs, and this is the 15th. And basically, it's my greatest hits. The first disc is all originals. The second disc is all live recordings, like you hear the crowd, you know what I'm saying? The third disc is all remixes from the dopest producer I met, my cousin, Mike Greggs. And the fourth disc is by the second dopest producer, remixes by the second dopest producer I met, Marc Marcel. But no, it's just $20, $5 a disc. I do take credit card. I'm the walking 7-Eleven around this motherfucker. Ladies, let me know if you want a Slurpee. Guys, my Slurpee machine is shut off for y'all, but ladies, it's working. I need to hear it like I can write a poem on the clitoris from all the spirits you summon when you finish coming from your orgasm. I need to hear it like I could write a poem on the clitoris from all the spirits you summon when you finish coming from your orgasm. Just so I can prove it to the heavens that there's a man somewhere on this earth that's been known to make angels moan. You can leave a shiver that can bring out the feeling in your backbone. I need to take you high now. So come on and vibrate off the rhythm in my diction by sitting on the floor plate coming up off my tongue. Baby, the best part about you is that you're single. Because I won't want the guilt to set in from all the feelings I'm going to bring out of you. Like, if you just got too close to priests, you could catch Tourette's and start confessing to him the jokes and the orgasm you have. And if he tells you that you need to find God, then you can just give him my address. This isn't about making you feel shame or remorseful, so tell him if making love to me was considered a sin, then you have to do it again. So I've taken you places inside your orgasm you've been trying to find a religion. A place where it's alright to have an addiction to what the dick did. Like, you just kept whiplash every time the third day passes, and in the middle of your business meeting from the way orgasm just slings right back, or it could be from the slingshot I just put in your back. Baby, I like to see your knees buckle. So come on and vibrate off the hydraulics I got on my mattress. And I need to give it to you like your only concern was about walking upright in the morning. Baby, we can do it again. You can get me in the mood again. I'm just like my initials. You know I melt in your mouth and not in your hands. Baby, please, let's up it a notch and take this thing 69 degrees. You see, there's just so many things I can do to you when I'm down there. Like proving it to you that you're really a poet on the low by taking my fingers like braille just to read the poem coming off the lips of your camel toe. I need to hear you growl. My neighbors probably think we're watching the Animal Channel. Never mind them if they start thinking we're getting too loud. Tell them to mind their own business. Sugar, I got something I want to give you. Your only interest should be how thick it is, the way the orgasm hits. And if it can get deep enough to make you suppress the memories of all the other men you had sex with. And I need to give it to you like the Holy Ghost has jumped in your bones and started to steal the show. Baby, anything goes. You should know me by now. We can even use a vibrator set in your cell phone. Girl, you don't owe me nothing. I know the type of orgasm you've been wanting. Like you could just write it on the walls as hieroglyphics. So historians could never disregard it existed. And you can prove it to the heavens. It's true. It's an orgasm that you can put your faith in. Did I say I was single? I'm single like a motherfucker. But for some reason something's telling me to do it. I'm gonna change the mood a little bit. Why? You know what? I promise I'm gonna end you. I'm gonna get back to that mood. All right? I'm gonna end back there. I got you. All right, but can I take you guys over here a little bit just for something? Is that cool?
Just for a second.
All right. If I've been receiving racist fan mail for the past 4 years, and I call it fan mail because they inspire the fuck out of me. Like, they really do. They have to, you know, like if you type in my name, if you go to YouTube, type in my name, Marc Marcel / if the South had won, you'll see this video. Probably got like 40,000 hits on it now. And like 700, 800 comments, and like 650 of them like, fuck you, nigger, go back to Africa. And I replied back to him, bitch, I ain't even been to Africa. How the fuck can I go back? If I also invite them to some of my shows, and then they really don't like respond back. Like, oh shit, he's real, he's alive. I just thought he was in the digital world. Like he texting me back, emailing me back. Anyway, I know I say some things that are challenging for people to hear. I haven't done it yet. I probably won't do it today. But if you Google me or YouTube me, you will see that. But I want to say, the key to this shit, the most valuable thing that you can have in life is love. Yeah. It is. We need to get over our racial barriers. Black people, yes, you can be racist too. This bullshit about, well, you know, the white man was in power and, you know, you can't really be racist because, nah, motherfucker. If you don't like somebody because of the color of their race, no matter what their forefathers did to you, but that person didn't do shit to you and you don't like them, you are racist. Alright? Another thing that divides us is religion. When God, I believe God is a woman with jet black hair that just reaches down to the basement of her sandals. So she has to walk around carrying the strands of one arm forward, just so it stays clear for being dragged on the filth from the land that she walks on. I believe God is a woman with the fingernails, the lips, of the breaths taken by newborns, and tattoos of the names of all her children spread throughout her back and forearms, and the body movie stars can only dream of. I believe God is a woman with the complexion of watching the sunrise, and the elegance of a dove, with blank pupils, white like the way the light shines. When you look into her eyes, it would almost be as if she were blind. But it just makes it easier for her to see past the deception, tongue speak, and listen to the honesty in people's souls, and judge that man for his deeds, the way he lived, and eventually what he died for. And I believe she walks among us, dressed in long black shawls with heads reaches down to her feet, and taking the time to sip on Turkish coffee while sitting outside of cafe shops in New York City, watching children running the streets and innocently ignoring just how cold the world is, but each day losing a piece of the innocence that they were once born with. And I believe she has no religion. I believe she relies on faith and not belief systems, while understanding the predicaments that our youth are in. So I believe she walks these corners at night because she knows she has to go to them. And I believe she has a heart big enough to forgive even history's most heinous sins, whether it be the Holocaust or trading Africans, whether it be the government massacres, Iraqis, or Palestinians. I believe even she would never find it in her heart to confine her children to the evils that they live in. And I believe she's been scarred and butchered by men. I believe she's walked this earth before, has been raped by kings, slave owners, American soldiers, and even jealous boyfriends. So when it comes to Christ, it's only people's ignorance that would ever compare her crucifixions. But each lifetime she spent, she remains all the more beautiful, and wisdom all the more fruitful. And I know she's had way too many conversations with schoolgirls and telling them the ugliness of the world, and warning them of men, scriptures, and priests to try to make you believe Eve is the cause for all your natural temptations. And sitting around in campfires and rocking chairs and holding on to toddlers while teenagers comb their hair and surrounded by convicts to condemn the innocent, and sharing her words to restore the faith for those who even have a second to take the time to listen. And I believe she's witnessed the most wickedest things. I believe she's seen her village being raided and burned of natives, and spent time in concentration camps, and even sat in American embassies watching terrorists leave the premises just before the ceiling starts to cave in. And just before the first tower fell, I know she was somewhere in the building. And I believe God is a woman that's just lived through way too many holy wars. I believe the one that we're living in right now, we're just rehearsing the pages of Revelations. And I believe she walks among us, dressed in long black shawls with heads reaching down to her feet. And this type of love for Turkish coffee, like it was the one addiction that could have the Lord fallen victim. And I believe God is a woman Because if God were a man, somehow, I think I'll lose my faith again. One thing that kills me, I have some friends, and I know there's some guys in here a lot that do this, some guys in here that probably do this, and one thing I can't stand, man, I have some homeboys, they meet a female, and they're like, hey, baby, how you doing? Oh, it's nice to meet you. Yeah, oh, you looking good, sugar. Oh, sweetie. Oh, yeah, let me walk you to your car. Yeah, okay, cool. Hey, baby, you got a phone number? Oh, I thank you. Yeah, that's what's up. And as soon as they get right back to the boys, yeah, I was just hollering at this bitch. Yeah, I was just, oh, yeah, I'm gonna fuck shorty. Yeah. Who the fuck are you really? Trying to fuck you, so you ain't gotta impress me, but really, who the fuck are you really? I mean, you got bipolar going on or something like that? I mean, it's like, if they knew you was talking about them like that, to your friends, they wouldn't want to fuck with you, so you gotta check yourself, for real, really. Now, sister. That's another poem. Sister, I don't know what his problem is. I don't know what makes him take the best thing that has ever happened to him since God gave him life and just turn his back on his chance to get to know what love is. Or it makes him take that commitment and find more value in the cheap tricks prostitutes could perform on his dick than he could in you. And I don't know what makes him get off fucking other women his friends used to screw, or what makes him think he's more of a man with more women, when I swear this dude had just reached his peak when he was standing right next to you. I mean, I ain't never been that bold to play with someone's emotions. My heart ain't strong enough to be weighed down with all the guilt and knowing that you can just take someone's soul and mold it into something so cold that shit may never love again. It just may turn into something so rotten that the next opportunity she gets to walk to a good man, she just may turn away the love you could have gave because you was just too scolded from the previous relationship. And sister, I don't know what his problem is, but we can sit here in the poetry event talking about ways to fix it when really, honestly, now, I don't know what his problem is, but maybe you just need to start thinking about someone new to spend the rest of your life with. Like, maybe you just need to snap back on that broad strap and give yourself a little support to take the bullshit men pile up like Carl Mileage and get into yourself a little bit just so you can reacquaint yourself with the most beautiful person you just been neglecting to take the time to acknowledge. That woman that says, fuck it, I don't need the mascara or makeup because these dudes can't see the beauty in you for how you wake up, and you ain't got the right laying in bed waking up next to a goddess. And he has to understand that sex with you has to be like a spiritual ritual. Like what this dude really needs to do is start paying homage. And write a poem describing the feelings every time y'all made love, just so he go number off like sonnets. Because I've seen way too many women kept hostage, hidden away in closets, being told what to wear when he just met you wearing them sexy little outfits. And boyfriends that just complain about the person you were and tearing down the same group of friends you had since college. But let his ass go out. He has all kind of explanations why he ain't answer his cell phone at 5 o'clock in the morning. When he comes home, he don't even want to talk about it. And shorty, I'm sure some of the smell in the drawers you bought him should have opened up your eyelids. And surely from all the outlets he just placed his dick, the last thing you need right now is to sit on your lips from all the women he just slept with. And sister, I don't know what his problem is, but really, who the hell wants to try to understand or has that kind of time on their hands to give someone that type of commitment when all he's ever done was just pile of lies in it? And from all the betrayal and mistrust that makes him harder to live with, maybe you could just get him out your life like wounds, heal him by putting on ice. Just so the next time you see this dude, you can tell him about this old relationship you've been in and how you just reacquainted yourself with this old friend and how you're just trying to get to know yourself again by giving it all your attention. Because sister, I don't know what his problem is, but darling, ain't nobody gonna love you like you can. CD, I'm just in the back. I'll finish my set. That's great. Thank you.
I know to give you respect, even before walking the venue, they see it tatted on my neck.